500 out.
And look at that reel.
How about that?
How about that geology
from
fan?
the top of the reel down, there's debris all the way, and it looks like some outcrops directly at about 11 o'clock to the sun line. It looks like a layer about 5% of the reel wall with a vertical base on it, and within the vertical base I can see other small lineations, horizontal, about maybe 10% of that unit.
The linear features Dave speaks of are particularly evident in this photograph.
And that unit outcrops along the reel. It's about 10% from the top, and it's somewhat irregular, but it looks to be a continuous layer. It may be portions of flows, but they're generally at about the 10% level. I can see another one at about 12 o'clock to the sun line, which is somewhat thinner, maybe 5% of the total depth of the reel. However, it has more well-defined internal layering of about 10% of its thickness. I can see maybe 10 very well-defined layers within that unit.
Dave is describing basalt lava flows. The linear features he describes are most likely the exposures of contacts between individual flow units. Their geometry tells the geologists in Houston something about the way the flows were deposited.
Beautiful, Dave, beautiful.
If I go down the reel below this upper layer at 10%, there seems to be mostly debris in the order of large angular fragments, maybe the largest being like 5% of the total depth of the reel, and then they gradually break on down to very small fragments in a tailor slope.
Since Hadley Rille is about 350 meters deep, 10% would be 35 meters. Here are the angular debris fragments, or talus, that Dave just mentioned. Talus is a product of physical weathering in which debris accumulates at the bottom of a steep slope.
I see no significant collection of talus at any level. It seems to be fairly uniformly distributed in patches all the way down to as far as I can see to the bottom of the reel. And looking on to my 12:30 to 1 o'clock on up the reel, and I guess we'll get a little closer when we get down to sampling it down there. Why, it looks very much the same. Outcrops of this one unit, irregularly spaced, discontinuous, but along the general 10% from the top line, with talus sliding down into the bottom of the reel. I see no differences in color. However, the vertical section of the unit which is exposed looks to be somewhat lighter in gray. The blocks which have fallen down in the talus seem to be have a more tan or different tone of gray color to them, sort of like the fresh vertical section was more recently exposed. Let me let you digest that for a minute, and let me take a bunch of 500s so I'll get you the vertical and the horizontal, and boy, there's lots of things to shoot at over there. Hey, Jim, where'd you take the pan? Right over here? There's a little circle on the ground. Okay. Lens cap is off.
Good show.
Okay. First, I'll get you a horizontal strip along the two outcrops.
Here is the horizontal strip taken with the 500 millimeter lens.
just sampled a fragment here with a great number of vesicles about 2 millimeters in diameter. It's in 274.
Roger, Jim.